Hey guys, how are y'all doing? This is Phillip from Blue Collar Crypto, and I am here with Validator from Posthuman Dev. We're here to talk about what they have to offer, their products and services, and also them as a validator and why you should validate to them, their kind of belief system. But I'm going to kind of turn it over to him and allow him to introduce himself. So go ahead.
Yes, hello, Philippe. Thank you for invitation. This is very interesting to tell more about our vision and what we are doing in the Cosmos ecosystem. Yeah, my name is Vlady. I'm a founder of Validator Posthuman, but now behind the Validator Posthuman, it's 16 people and in the core team. And also we are Decentralized Validator, and we are the first Decentralized Validator, not from the side of the technical, not the technical questions, but humanitarian questions. So we are the first validator who decided to distribute the governance among the delegators. Even if we have distributed networks, they are made of centralized validators. It means behind every validator, it's one or several people who can shut down the machine by their own wish. And if we will speak about proof of stake networks, for example, Ethereum. This is not a big deal because they have thousands of validators. But if we will speak about delegated proof of stake networks and all Cosmos networks, all Cosmos chains, it's delegated proof of stake networks, there are some problems. We meet with such situation when several of validators can be very important for the network. For example, in questions of IBC reliers, it was several situations when we was the only one validator who provide IBC reliers. For example, in case of T-grade network, for some period of time, we was the only one validator who provide the channel and IBC reliers between T-grade and osmosis. And in case if we are, something happens with us, or we are just shut down the machine, all transactions between T-grade and osmosis stop to work. And it means the users can't return back their tokens. And to up back such reliers, this is pain in the ass. So we come to the conclusion that we need to move us to the next level of the decentralization, when the decentralized networks validated by decentralized validators. So who is interested in the validators at the first? It's a network. Network need to have a good validators, and network need to be sure I delegate to these validators, and I can delegate a huge amount. And for me, it's not cool if these validators will go out from the network. Second, who is the most interested in the validators is the delegators. Delegators delegate these funds. They want to be sure that machine will work, that nothing happens. So we are start to think how to implement, how to make this fractal when the decentralized networks validated by decentralized validators, how we can create decentralized validator. And we create DAO. We call it DAS, Decentralized Autonomous Synchronization, and we start to distribute the tokens of governance among our delegators. And we gave them the power to make decisions about to shut down the machine or not shut down, to change the commission or not to change the commission. So, as usually, every validator can change the commission by the wish of the small group, or turn on off the machine by the wish of the small group. We tell, okay, even if technically we have such decision possibility, we will not make such decision before the proposal in our DAO. So and if we want to shut down the machine, we can't shut down it immediately. We need to up the proposal, like write the reasons why we want to shut down the machine. After we need to wait for the 1 week, our delegators will vote. If our delegators vote yes, we can shut down the machine. And we have the 1 week of the time that everybody have a time to unbond tokens or to redelegate tokens and so on. In case if our delegators vote no, and we already have such situations, we will validate the network until we will have a proposal to stop to validate this network. So, and this is pretty interesting because at first we share not only voting power among our delegators, but also part of the income of the validator. We clearly understand that if we have income from the validator, and this is commissions 5%, so we need to be pleased to our delegators. So we return them back 20% of our income. And we return them 20% of our income, not only from the individual delegators, but also from the foundations, because projects invite us to validate them, also because we have a big, wide community of delegators. And for now, the Posthuman Validator is top 4 by the amount of individual delegators in Cosmos ecosystem. And for projects, it's interesting. They tell, okay, we invite you to validate. You have pretty big community. We give you delegation. And sometimes this delegation is much bigger than delegation from individual stakers. Yeah. And we tell, okay, we get 20% of income as from the foundations, as from the individual delegators. But we will share this 20% of income among only individual delegators. We don't give to foundations a voting power because we already contribute for the projects at first. And at second, of course, if we will share with the projects 20% of income, it means nothing to our individual delegators. Because sometimes delegation from foundations can be 80% of delegations or 75 come from the projects, from the foundations, and only 20-25 from individual delegators. It's not on in all networks like this. For example, in Cosmos, we have 90% of our delegations from individual delegators, and only 10% we have from some foundations. But in most of networks, the situation like this, and because we start to share the income, and so we can imagine it like a stocks on the validator have income, and you get stocks, and you choose to keep it and don't sell, and you have voting power, or you can sell it and get the income. So more, longer, bigger income we have, more funds go to the stockholders. And I want to share screen now.
Okay. So let me try to wrap my head around it. So forgive me if I mispronounce it or anything like that. So basically what you're saying is that Posthuman as a validator set has created a token representing the staking power and the voting power of the network that y'all validate for. So as a community, you guys come together on proposals that have been submitted to each chain, and you vote within inside the Posthuman devs on how the validators should vote together. And then your staking rewards are paid into the Posthuman DAO, and which create a incentive and a value for to hold the token. So you're getting paid 20% of the validator staking reward plus the staking reward that you already earned from staking to the network already individually.
Yes.
I got that right.
Yes. This is totally like this. By the mathematics, we can imagine something like this. If our commissions 5% and we return you back 20% of income, it means that for you as for delegator, kind of commissions became not 5%, but 4%.
Okay.
But as we give you income not only from individual delegators, but also from the foundations, it means you even get more. So, and this is, for example, how do we need to vote on proposal 952 in Cosmos Hub? It was the proposal that it's not clear for the many people. Like some members of our community want to vote yes, some no with veto. As the validator, we are respect the opinion of all our delegators, because we think, okay, if we have different vision, for example, some people tell, let's increase inflation, we need more IPR. Other people tell, no, let's decrease inflation, we need bigger price of the token. Who we need to listen? We want to respect all the opinions. We tell, even if we have different opinions, all of these people want something good for the Cosmos. These people want to increase the commission inflation, not because they want something bad. They have this vision of the growing network. If we other people have a vision, let's decrease inflation. They want to protect the interests of all stakers. We are totally for both of them. And this is brilliant that in Cosmos we have such a possibility to vote from the one account with the different answers. It's called weighted vote. So we have the proposal. By this proposal, people tell how we need to vote. After we see the results, who tell us to vote abstain, who tell us to vote no, and we vote the same. So by this, with this DAO, and the proposal take 2 weeks in the Cosmos, and we have 1 week. So for 1 week, our community can tell to us, hey, validator, like we want, and we vote as our community wants. So here is, you can see a lot of pretty big amount of the proposals like stop to validate. So for example, we was telling about stop to validate gravity bridge or stop to validate Quicksilver. And if we will check in the questions of this to stop to validate Quicksilver, our community voted no. Sorry for, I think it's because of the sharing. But in question, stop to validate keychain, our community voted yes. So we stopped to validate keychain, but we still validate Quicksilver. And so in the weekend, and we tell, okay, if delegators have the power, our validator stopped to be own property, centralized. It became decentralized, distributed property. So all our delegators get the voting power. Those who don't want to participate, they don't need to participate. They can just sell it and get additional income. We are really hope that it will be the good model for other validators, because for us, it's totally clear that any network that consists decentralized validators is much more effective and much more unstoppable. Also, in the case of the Tendermint-based chains, because we are not Ethereum, we don't have 20,000 validators. In the Cosmos networks, we have 100 validators, 80 validators, 150 validators. So every validator, it's little bit more valuable. Even if the security provided not by amount of validators, but amount of the staked tokens. But if validator provide a lot of contributions like IBC reliers, RPCs, and so on, the network can be start to be dependent of such validator. And the governance of such validator need to be in the hand, not of the small amount of the people, but in hand of delegators. Yes, so for now, in the decentralized governance of the Posthuman validator, participated 2,600 addresses. So this is the, of course, the turnout, it's not so, not 100%. Yes, turnout kind of 60-70%. But this is also very good turnout. We understand we will never have situation when 100% of people will participate in proposals. 60-70%, pretty good turnout for the governance. So this is what makes validator Posthuman little bit different from other validators. It not means that we are better than other validators. No, the Cosmos ecosystem full of great validators. Citadel One, Bro and Pro, Stake, Cito, Cosmic Validator. Friends, I really, shame on me, I can't name all the good validators. Now I just need to see the list, and after I can tell, oh, this is good validator, this is bad validator, how we can tell who is bad validator? It's a centralized exchange. They didn't buy any tokens from market. They just use the tokens of their users and tell, oh, okay, while our users trade in the bullshit, we have millions on the address. What we will do is this, oh, let's run the validator. We will get income and we will sell these tokens. So they didn't provide any contributions. They do nothing for the development of infrastructure, community, but they just dump in our tokens. So I can clearly tell that the centralized exchanges validators, they are more harmful for the network than useful. The good validator, those validators who not only provide the security, but also spend their time, energy, efforts, funds to develop. Yes, all validators who develop program code, who contribute for development of SDK, all validators who create video content, all validators who create guides, who develop the community, all of them are good validators. So delegate to the good validators. Don't delegate to bad validators. And we are validating Cosmos Sign already 5 years. So I'm in Cosmos Science 2019, and my first validator that I ran, it was in the cyber Posthuman network testnet. First mainnet was in the 2020. It was the star name. Very great idea. But now we are validating more than 40 different networks.
Wow.
Most of them are Cosmos networks. Of course, also it's a little bit Solana, a little bit Ethereum, but also Avalanche. You always can find the whole list on the GitHub. We try to update all the time the list of the networks that we validate. Yeah, and also the list of the different test nets and our archive mainnets and our archive test nets. So we are really glad to contribute for the development of many networks. Some of networks not really profitable, so some of them are really not profitable, but we validate them because we believe that in the future they will play the good role in the development of whole Cosmos ecosystem, and they are important parts. Even if they are not really profitable now, it's not means that it will not be in future, or sometimes it's just okay, not important that it's not profitable, but good, it's good idea, good people, and we want to support you. If we can support meme coins, like we understand that no technical background behind the meme coins, but this is for fun. Sometimes we validate such networks for fun, like Chihuahua, but also exist good ideological projects. This is people with good attitudes, with good vision, and we support them, not for fun, but because we are thinking that it's important to support each other, and this is how the whole blockchain works. We are cooperate, not compete, to get the best performance of the network, to that everybody win from the activity.
Nice. Now, you talked to me a few days ago, and we talked about things that you are doing for the community. Like you talked about the education, you talked about some of the community groups that you're a part of. Can you talk to me more about that?
Yeah, so as my opinion, the community is the one of the main for any project. It means the project can stop to exist because of, I don't know, disasters or maybe creating of new technologies. Maybe one day quantum computers will create quantum chains with quantum cryptography and so on. So it means if we have a strong community of the people who understand how it works and who have a real good experience of collaboration and some coordination of activity, it's not important which project. We just need to find a good project, and we already have the community. So most of our funds we spend to develop the community, and we return it back and incentivize different activity. One of the how we contribute for the development, it's our Cosmos ecosystem Twitter. This is totally independent media, and with this media we don't get any funds, so no paid posts here. So we don't take any funds from nobody to make this weekly infographics. We create something like a digital newspaper. Yes, you can read about updates, you can check which new videos, and as you can see, we speak here not only about Posthuman, but about many other validators. We show the stats, and we speak here about all Cosmos ecosystem networks, not only about those that we validate. So we try to be very objective. And it's a pretty big team of the people who collecting, aggregating news, creating these infographics. And we do it daily, and we spread this information. Also, we incentivize other good Cosmos ecosystem contributors. As we can see, when some people start to create news guides, we always support them with funds. And if you are a contributor of the Cosmos ecosystem and you're doing something, just come to us and tell friends, look, I do this and I do that. We tell, oh, very nice. And we give you some funds to support, to incentivize your activity. Yes, so some examples of the daily news. Yes, when we are speaking about what's happening, most interesting for the day. Yes, most interesting for the week, and so on. So a lot of people doing it, and part of our funds that we got from the Posthuman Validator, we just give to these people that they write about whole cosmos ecosystem, not only about Posthuman. This is one of the ways of how we contribute. A second interesting moment that we have pretty big tree of sub-DAOs. So we have the main DAOs, and it's very slow because it's like 2,600 addresses, 7 days to vote. We can't make the fast decisions with such situation, but it's beautiful. DAO zone. You create the beautiful tool. So we have different sub-DAOs. So, for example, strategic sub-DAO, it's a sub-DAO that make some strategical points, like it's strategically important to support NFT development, or it's strategically important to develop AI. And strategic sub-DAO have 17 sub-DAOs, like merge sub-DAOs, strategic sub-DAOs, centrifuge, education, technical, info, content, reputations, how to tokenize the reputation of the community members. So, for example, some people don't have really a lot of funds, but they are honest. They contribute a lot, and we tell, okay, we will give you good reputation. And with what I can do is good reputation. And with good reputation, you can go to the reputation bank, and reputation bank tell, we will give you 0% interest loan for your reputation. So if you have the good reputation, we believe that you will return these funds. Yeah, we can check how many reputation tokens you have. And based on this, you have 100 reputation tokens. We tell, okay, we can give you easily $50. Just freeze your reputation. We give you $50. When you return $50, you get back your reputation. Nice. Yeah, this is how we can help. And this is interesting questions of how, because we have not only economical values, we understand that such social values as the voting power, it's a big value. And also cultural, psychological values. Yes, how the people behave, how it's good with such person in the community. If somebody make the conflict in the community and some member tell, please friends, we are here not to listen your discussion, who is the bigger fool. Let's stop this and don't make conflicts. We need to respect others, and people stop to make a conflict. Is it a big value? We want to be with such people in the one community, and we want to incentivize them. So we start to give reputation tokens to good people, that these people can make have more possibilities. Who will get whitelist first? Those who help to others. Yeah, if you have a lot of reputation tokens, you can't buy them. So it means you get it because you was doing something good. For those people who do something good and who support others, we always have the first line. So we are pretty big media about Cosmos ecosystem among the Russian speakers. Russian speakers, it means not only Russia, it means all the people who have communication protocol Russian language. Even my residence in France, I located now in Spain, but my native language is Russian language, so I easily understand all other people who speak in Russian language. And this is huge amount of ex-USSR countries. It's a big amount of the people all over the world. When they was running after the breaking of Soviet Union, also huge migration after the starting of the war. So, for example, Vitalik Buterin, Russian speaker, yes, and the founder of Solana, also Russian speaker. So we just understand this language very fast, and we can speak faster, and we send information to each other much more faster than with English. So we create such a channel about Cosmos. Here is a lot of more than 500 videos, but what I'm proud of, it's our weekly calls. So for the long period of time, already more than 3 years, we have community calls that have the name Voice of Ecosystem. And for this period, and we do it every week, so it means we have already 158 meets, and 52 weeks, it's 1 year. So you can find all the records. We didn't miss even 1 week. So we are like a true believers. If some people go to the church every Sunday, we are going to the community call. We are believers in the cosmos. For this period of time, huge amount of the people was here, and a lot of legends like CEO of Injective, CEO of Secret Labs, founders of OmniFlix. So very famous people, projects that nobody knew before. So we all different NFT collections, and it's as English like the interview with Denis Fadeev, one of the developer of Tendermint and now STO of Zeta Chain, and so on. So sometimes our community calls can be like a 5 hours long. Yep, it's rare. Of course, as usually it's like 2 hours, but some of our community calls was really, really long because it's a real community calls. When the community involved and we speak, and we even can't stop. So this is what I'm proud of. Russian-speaking community. It became seventh, so it's the second biggest Cosmos ecosystem community. We are even bigger than Chinese community or German or French community. Yes, so I always looking for the Cosmos locals. Yes, we can find here Spanish speakers Cosmos. Yes, we can find from Turkey, from Germany, from Brazil. But for the long period of time, the Russian-speaking community, and because of this 3 years of calls, we became pretty big part of the cosmos. Also, of course, we have English-speaking community, a YouTube channel. We have not so many videos, just 76. We started to develop it not so long time ago. But you also can find there is a lot of interesting overviews, interviews with the different famous Cosmos legends, with Jenna, for example, with Zaki Manyan, with Charles from the IDX Foundation, and also a lot of overviews of Web3 family, Paris Blockchain Week. So we try to visit as much blockchain events as it possible and making overviews, making some interviews. Oh, this is very interesting. Cosmos Voice with Fabian from Kaif. I think Kaif very important project, totally underrated because everybody need history, because the validators don't keep their all transactions. They just keep information about several last 200, 300 transactions. Who keep archive notes? So Kaif did really great, important job, very important project. And now people just don't understand how it's important. But also we try to create as much English-speaking content as is possible. But with Russian-speaking content, it's little bit easier for us.
Yeah. I can only imagine. I mean, I can only imagine, like trying to explain something in your second language or your third language, and trying to be able to understand everything and then get your point across, because English is not the easiest. I mean, there's so much slang and talk and workarounds where you say one thing but mean another. I can only imagine. But I mean, the one thing that I love about blockchain in general is the fact that it's not based on one country. It is a borderless system. People in Spain and Russia and the United States and Mexico, they can all come together upon a common goal and a common agreement and build and make stuff happen and change the world. I think that's amazing. I think that's what blockchain is made for. And I really think you're doing your part when it comes to the educational content, when it comes to making decentralized even more decentralized, because you were given the opportunity for holders to decide how your validator votes. And I think more validators should do that. Like, that's awesome, because the vote of some of the biggest holders, especially the top 10 holders. If you look at any chain, you see your top 10 validators, and I always recommend validating or delegating outside the top 10 just for a bigger decentralization. I think it's amazing. I think more projects should absolutely adopt that. Like, That's really good.
Yes, it will solve so many problems because for now we have such situations when sometimes people tell, oh, I delegate to this validator and this validator don't vote as I want. And the validator vote with the voting power of all delegators. And most of the delegators don't vote. And we have the such situation when some people tell, oh, I need to redelegate from my validator because my validator don't share my opinion. But in case when we have weighted votes and you can tell, hey, validator, I'm your delegator, respect my opinion too. So part of your vote, let's go for yes, let's part of your vote go for no. Yeah, this is how we can overcome these problems of electronic democracy and make it much more fair and much more delegator centric. Yes, because for now we are in such situation when we are in cosmos. But I'm totally sure that we will overcome this situation. But just to understand why it's important to vote by the different ways for the validators. We can go, for example, to the any block explorer, and I really like Minscan, to be honest. Yes, we can go to the proposals and we can check for the filter for the proposals and use proposal type that it's a software upgrade. And the software upgrade, it's the main important proposals for the whole network. A lot of depends on it. The future of our tokens, functionality, new transactions, so on. We can go to the Gaia. Let's update software to Gaia version 21. Of course, 99% yes. Some people was voting no. Some, I think it's a misclick. Yeah. So if we will check who vote, we will see that a lot of validators vote yes. Of course, it's very clearly. Yeah, we need to vote yes on the proposals. Let's show the validator yes. One abstain. I don't know. Maybe it's misclick or like what's the reason? One person vote no. I don't understand. Looks like nobody voted with it, but didn't vote. Huge amount of the validators didn't vote. What they tell by this? They tell, we are just don't care what's happening in your network. We are don't care. We are here not to update the network. And this is the shame. Yes. And how much accounts? 98 validators voted. Yes, but totally 24,000 addresses. So exist some very responsible delegators who tell, even if my validator vote or don't vote, I will go and I will vote. Yeah, because they are responsible. But and it's 24,000 addresses. But let's go by the validators and we'll check the amount, how many addresses in total, in general. Yes, and if we will go by the delegators and look at the list, not by the voting power, but the delegators, we can see that only Prism have 80,000 delegators, 75 all nodes, 72 SG1. Yes, Validator Posthuman, 51,000. So only Validator Posthuman have 2 times more addresses of delegators that delegators was voting personally. So it means every of the validator vote by the 80 or 90% of voting power. Maybe 10 or 5% can be another. So in such situation, yes, it's very unfair when even if the delegate, if we have such system, if delegator vote no and validator vote yes, we count the voice of delegator at first, not of the validator. But when validator vote with the 98% of voting power, it stopped to work. So all our delegators need to have the possibility to be heard and to have real voice, power of voice, real voting power. We just, I think that the biggest problem why other validators didn't do it, because maybe it's our fault. We need to spread information about how the decentralized validator works and how it can operate and how we can use it as the tool. Yes, and it will change a lot in the decision making and decentralized governance. Yeah, and also one of our main contributions that I also proud of, it's a validator school. So we teach people how to validate Cosmos. We teach people how to validate any networks, but on the exact example of the Cosmos. because when you know Cosmos SDK, when you know Cosmos documentation, you can validate hundreds of networks. So if you will learn documentation of Ethereum, you can validate only Ethereum and several layer 2. If you will learn how to validate Solana, you can validate only Solana. But if you will learn how to validate Cosmos, all these networks are open to you. Just one documentation, hundreds of networks, and more testnets coming, so more places for validators. And we do it already more than 2 years, 3 years. We teach people for this period of time. We have kind of, I don't know how much applications.
Wow.
Yeah, yes, this is so much applications. Like for English course, 191 applications. For Russian speaking course, 650 applications. Yes, so, and we have such groups as Alumni SubDAO. It's 59 members now, and we have Russian speaking Выпускники SubDAO. It's 172 members. Yeah. So
Wow.
for this period of time, we teach a lot of people how to validate Cosmos networks, and we every 5 weeks, like every month which half, we issue kind of 10, 15 new validators as Russian speaking, as English speaking, and by the statistics, 50% of them start to live with the validation on the different levels. Some of them get success very fast. Some of them are struggling with some questions. But of course, it always depends on the team. Sometimes it depends on the luck.
And is that the to teach someone how to validate? Is there do you pay a fee to learn, or is it something that's just a public good?
So at the beginning, it was like a public good, and we are started is the public good to make it sustainable. We have the student payment, but this is pretty small amount. It's 300 USDC or USDT, and for the 5 weeks and 40 hours of real education and practice. So you pay not for the materials. All materials is for free. You pay for the mentor's time, because mentors spending with you time. Yes, and exist group lessons and exist after individual lessons. So person don't understand, right? I don't have such. I was doing everything like you tell, but no result. Okay, mentor tell, okay, share the screen. It's less than $10 per hour. So like $300 for 40 hours. Yes.
Yeah. So for $300, ladies and gentlemen, you can get a one-on-one mentor and group session with how to run a validator node on any chain. So if you want to help continue the decentralization of Cosmos and you want to run a validator node, but you don't know how, or maybe you started it and you started downloading the command line and the Git files, and all of a sudden you got lost and stuck, and you want to expand your knowledge, but you really want a teacher, someone to walk you through it, they have a service that will allow you to do that. And you share your screen, and they will show you how to upload a node and run a node. And
so our mentors will assist. So we are thinking about next moment. So we are thinking to ask for the grant, for example, and because we are doing it for Cosmos, and we are developing a Cosmos by this way. Yes, and we provide and we teach people not only how to run the node, we teach people how to contribute, why it's important to participate in governance, which contributions are needed for the project, how to find these delegation programs, how to create guides, how to communicate with the communities, and so on and so on. So we are trying to do the best, not just node runners. Yeah, nobody need node runners. We are preparing contributors, ambassadors. Yeah, and
yeah.
in this case, if we will get grant, we can provide free education. So for people for whom it's not a problem to pay 300, for many people it's not a big deal. Yes, it's okay, but sometimes we meet people from the Nigeria, and for them $300 is like a half year of job with the because like the payment there like is $60 or $70 per month. And we are interested in the bigger decentralization. Yes, so like we need to teach people. So if we will get grants, we will provide more education for the even like people need to fill the form from where I am. And if you are from some poor economical region, of course, we will glad to provide free education.
Nice, nice. Well, is there anything else you got for me? Anything else we forgot to share?
I have a lot of interesting visions and thoughts about new decentralized governance model, how we can improve it, and how we can involve more people in the decentralized governance. Also, we built several interesting projects from community for community. Not so long time ago, we launched a centrifuge platform, the machine to train cosmonauts. Yes, it's a quest task platform, permissionless for the community, like Zili, Biblock, or Galaxy, but for free. And we are launching a very interesting abstract account network, Sputnik network. It's about how we can control our addresses with the Telegram, Twitter, Instagram, and send crypto by username. Yes, even without any knowledge about your address and so on. And but I think this is 2 hours more.
Man, where can someone pick up the Posthuman DAO token at? Is it on Posthuman?
Yes, it's called PHE, and we have for now 2 pools on Osmosis. I think near time we will transfer one of our pools from Osmosis to Astroport. But if you will go to the Osmosis and just check by the assets and put PHMN, you will find it, and you can see pools with the PHMN. We have even more. We have now pools with PHMN, with Osmo, with Atom, and with Token Wire. This is not the biggest liquidity for our history, but we always add more and more liquidity with every income. We are send our liquidity to the pools. So liquidity very slowly but grow up.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I do want to have you back on, but I do want to disclose to everyone that we are not financial advisors. We do not give financial advice. These is a research tool. Just like anything else, you can lose everything you put in. So continue your research, continue to do your due diligence. If you want to run a validator node, the link to everything we discussed today will be in the show notes. So feel free to reach out. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me personally, and my Discord link and Twitter handle will also be in the show notes. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I sure will appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, friends. Philip, thank you for spreading the word. It's very important to inform community about what is happening. Yes, and always make the research before any investments, because crypto, it's very risky, very volatile. You can lose everything. So always you need to understand all actions you do, you take responsibility on yourself.
That is true. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.